Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to the session today. So how's your evening and how are you all doing? Well, let's have the people rolling their answers in the chat. So how are you all doing, everyone? A very warm welcome to the session, and today's session is on writing and task one, and that's task one that we're going to be doing. So a lot of people keep asking that, how to do the task one, what is the right way to address task one, what to write and what not to write. So, well, this is where I'm going to decode task one and give you all the necessary tips and tricks to do your task one in just about 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll get rolling. Yeah, hi Ritika, hi Taha. Yeah, good evening, a very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you in the session. And it's good to see you all excited about task one. Okay, so how do you find task one, everyone? Is it difficult? Do you find it challenging to complete in 15 to 20 minutes? Because it's very critical to spend the remaining time doing your essay writing. So for this task, you should be proficient enough to complete this one quickly in 15 to 20 minutes. Yeah, good evening, Yogesh, Aman, Rabi, Abhishek. A very good evening and a warm welcome to all of you. And that's what I was saying, that we are going to decode task one for writing for everyone out here, so that you can become really very proficient and get the right tips and tricks to do it very quickly in your test. Well, a very quick introduction to you all. My name is Shifa and I am an educator at LeapScholar with over 11 years of experience in teaching IELTS, TOEFL and other English language programs. Well, I have a master's degree in English, and along with that, I'm certified by Cambridge for advanced skills in teaching IELTS. Apart from that, I'm a certified TOEFL trainer and have also done my soft skills and business communication. Well, that's a little about me, and I have trained loads and loads of students, about thousands of students, and I hope that today I'll be able to share my experience and tips with you all. Well, let's get going with the session for today. And as I mentioned, all those people who are joining today, I hope you know that we'll be covering task one for writing, which seems to be a challenge for some people, particularly when it comes to completing the task in just a few minutes, about 15 to 20 minutes, because the rest of the time has to be focused on their essay writing. So let's get going with a little quiz out here to warm up to the session, so that we all are on the same page, right, everyone? So get ready to answer a few questions about the writing section. Here comes the first question for you all. How long is the writing section, everyone? Quickly tell me in the chat box. Yeah, good evening, Anuga, Rabi, Preeti, Abhishek, everyone. Very quickly, let me know how long is the writing section. Yes, it's 1 hour. And how many tasks are there to complete? How many tasks? Yeah, task one, Rabi, you find so difficult. But how many tasks are there? Yeah, good evening, Sunaina. How many tasks are there to complete? Yes, there are 2 tasks to complete. And which task has more weightage out of the 2? Which task has more weightage out of the 2? Yes, it's task 2. It's task 2. Yes, very good, everyone. Task 2, which is essay writing, carries double the amount of weightage than your task 1. So it makes all the more sense to spend more time on task 2 than your task 1. However, we cannot ignore task 1 because we need to do our very best in that one. How much time should you spend on task 1 and task 2? Well, yes, we've already, yeah, very good. Yes, of course, we need to spend just about 20 minutes on this one, the task 1, and remaining 40 minutes on your task 2. Great, everyone. My audience is, well, quite knowledgeable. Okay, how many assessment parameters are there for grading the writing tasks? Everyone. There are some people who are already familiar, so they are giving quick answers. Others who are not familiar, you learn a little bit from this quiz. So, well, yes. Exactly, 20 and 40. And how many assessment parameters? Yeah, there are 4 assessment parameters. And what are they? Very quickly, let's see, what are they? Well, the first one is task response. The second one is coherence and cohesion. The third is lexical resource, and then grammatical range and accuracy. Very good, everyone. Yes, Azan, Sujit, Sunena, all of you are going right. Okay, wonderful. Or are all these parameters equally important? Yes, are these all equally important? Yes, they are. Absolutely, yes, they are equally important, and each one contributes 25% to your overall score in your writing. Okay, well, that's wonderful, everyone. And now we are all on the same page. So let's get going with task one. But prior to that, a very quick information about the tests, the IELTS test. The academic test, well, who takes the academic test? It is for the people who are going abroad for education purpose in an English-speaking country, and general training test is taken up by people who go abroad for immigration or for work purpose, right, everyone? Yes, so don't make any mistakes while you are registering for the IELTS test with IDP. Be very sure what is your purpose of going abroad. Okay, the writing section. Now, what about the writing section? 2 tasks, 60 minutes to complete the entire section. Now, you have a free hand to do pacing on your own. However, it is advisable to spend not more than 20 minutes on your task 1 and the remaining 40 minutes on your task 2. So task 1 is report writing, everyone, based on pictorial representation of the information for the academic training students. For the general training people, what do we have? Everyone, it is letter writing. For the general training people, it is letter writing as their task 1. And task 2 is the same for everyone. For task 1, about 150 words, minimum of 150 words should be written. And for task 2, it is 250 words, minimum of 250 words, right? Okay, well, everyone, those are the basics of the writing section. And just to quickly let you know that your scores are given on a scale of 0 to 9 based on all the 4 parameters that we just discussed, right? Okay, everyone, let's just move ahead and let's get to, let's see all the 4 parameters and what do they mean. Now, what does task achievement mean? Very quickly, can anybody let me know what does task achievement mean? Now, this paper looks really very complicated, which is given out by the IDP, right, everyone? So this is a page which looks very complicated. However, now let me just explain you in very simple terms, what is task achievement? Task achievement means that you address all parts of the question clearly and in a fully and clearly, not just generalizing the ideas, but also presenting support to the ideas. So that means task achievement means addressing all parts of the question in a satisfactory manner. What does coherence and cohesion mean? Well, coherence and cohesion is nothing but doing the organization in an appropriate manner. So follow the organization. Along with that, make sure that you do paragraphing. You also use reference words and linking words to connect together your ideas. Lexical resource is nothing but good use of vocabulary, showing that you have a wide range of vocabulary associated to the topic. And grammatical range and accuracy is nothing but the grammar that you need to take care of. Well, those are the 4 parameters, and you need to keep in mind all those 4 parameters while you are doing your writing tasks, because this is what the examiner has in mind when he or she is judging you based on your writing skills, on both the writing skills, right? Now let's have a quick look at the types of representations that you can come across. Have you ever seen any of these representations ever while you were practicing for your writing test? Or for that matter, have you ever come across these kind of representations? And have you ever tried any writing answers on any of these representations? Yes, Azan, Ranjit, Aman, all of you, very quickly, let me know, have you ever tried writing something on any of these representations? Whether it is a pie chart or a bar chart, a diagram, a process diagram, could be a map, or for that matter, a table. Yes, okay, great. Ranjit, Manpreet, all of them are saying yes, they have tried. So how do you find them? Do you find it challenging, or do you find it easy to write on these representations? Okay. Okay, there are mixed responses that we have for for all of this. Yes, so many people have tried out writing, and some people are finding it challenging to write because they really get confused by the data that's presented to them. So I'll just decode all of this, and I'll tell you a very simple way of writing on these tasks and some tips that I'm going to let you know to construct your entire answer. So I'm going to let you know all the steps that you need to follow in order to write your complete answer for your task one. Right, everyone? Let's move ahead. So in your exam, you could get any of these representations, or for that matter, you could also get mixed graphs. What does mixed graph mean? Mixed graph means that you could have a combination of a bar chart and a pie chart, or it could be a line graph with a pie chart, or for that matter, sometimes a table and a line graph together. So this is what a mixed graph means. At other times, you may have 2 or 3 maps, or you may have 2 or 3 pie charts put together, and you need to write about that. Sometimes there could be a process diagram. So there could be anything that's represented. Now, number one rule that you must follow when it comes to your task one, what is that? That you must not add any information from your side. Please listen carefully. It's a very important tip that I'm letting you know. Some people have this tendency to add information from their knowledge. So don't add anything from your knowledge, and don't add your own ideas. You only need to restrict yourself to what the picture represents. Right, everyone? Yeah, sure, Abhi, we will do that sometime. However, today's class is going to help you to answer questions related to task one, which are of any kind, whether it is a bar chart, a line graph, a process diagram, a life cycle, could be anything. So the tips that I'm going to let you know, how to write your introduction, your body paragraph, for that matter, your overview. So those tips are going to come in handy for all types of representation. So don't worry about that. Well, let's look at the first thing that we have here. So the writing task one of academic test requires you to write a summary. So what is this question what does the question require you to do? First and foremost, we need to understand that. It requires you to write a summary of at least 150 words in response to a particular graph, a table, a chart. It could be a process diagram or a map. Basically, the task tests your ability to select. So what are the objectives of the task? Please listen carefully. It is to select and report the main features, to describe and compare data, identify significance and trends in the factual information, and or describe a process. So it could be, so first and foremost, it requires you to identify key trends. So you need to compare and contrast as well. Illustrate that with data. Okay, so all of that needs to be done here, right? So you need to summarize. You don't need to write everything. Okay, and identify key trends and illustrate that with data, and do comparison and contrast. So primarily 3 objectives that you must meet in this task, right? Okay, now let's move further, and let's understand what is it that you require to do. Okay, so very quickly, I put that on the screen as well. I just mentioned that orally, that you need to, as part of the task, you need to write an introduction. So how do we organize our answer? Now, this slide is going to let you know about the organization of the answer. Everybody, take a quick snapshot if you wish here, that as part of the task, you require to write an introduction. So what are the 3 parts of your answer? Introduction. The next one is overview. Overview is nothing but a summary of what you see. What do you think should be written? How many lines? Now, everyone, very quickly tell me in the chat that how many lines do you think should be optimum to write in your overview? First of all, in your overview. Yes. How many lines do you think would be good if you want to write an overview of the question? Yeah, we can just about 2 to 3 lines should be good enough for an overview, and nothing more than that. Please do remember. Okay, and lastly, we need to present and highlight key trends and illustrate that with data, and that is part of your body of the answer. So there are three parts to your answer. The introduction, well, you have the introduction, the overview, and the body. Right, everyone? Yes, a lot of people are giving me how many lines in the chat box. Yes, Manpreet, 2 to 3 lines for the overview would be good. Yes, for the body, yes, we'll discuss a little later. So let's just first look at the introduction, because that is the first part of your answer. Everyone, have a look at the screen, and we are going to look at what to include in your introduction. So introduction is the first paragraph that you have to write with regard to the answer. So prior to that, you must spend about 2 to 3 minutes to observe the information and identify what are the key trends. Then when you sit down to write, you must write your introduction first and foremost. The reason for an introduction is to tell the examiner what you're going to write about, right? It is basically the question paraphrased. So paraphrase the question. For example, what the visual diagram is, what is the data source, and when the data was collected. Have you noticed I've written a few things? So when the data was collected, what's the data source, and when the data was collected. So that should be enough for an introduction. Okay, now remember that if there are, so very important tip here, everybody, please do remember that if there are two diagrams or there are two representations, then please make sure, 2 or 3 for that matter, you need to introduce both. Let's say, for example, you have a pie chart as well as a line graph. You need to tell the purpose of both the pie chart and the line graph in your opening paragraph. And this can be done in 1 or 2 sentences, just 1 or 2 sentences for each one of them. And that should make up your introduction, right, everyone? Don't miss out on the introduction for any one of the data that is presented to you. So let's move further. Yes, what did you say, Abhi? Okay, so let's just move on, and let's look at a few examples of the introduction that I'm going to let you know about how to write an introduction when it comes to a bar chart, a line graph, a pie chart, a process diagram. So I'm going to give you a few examples, and we are going to look at that. But first, a very small announcement for you all. So we have a wonderful opportunity for you all to book a free demo with LeapScholar. So the link is there in the chat box, everyone. So in the description box, we are providing you with a link where you can go ahead and book your demo and get a taste of how we teach at LeapScholar, right? It's going to be a 30-minute demo, and that's completely free of cost. The links will be shared in the description box. And go ahead and book your demo, because the link will be valid only up till the time I'm taking the session on YouTube. So till the time I'm live, the link will also be live, and you can book your demo free of cost. And in the demo, you will be able to get a personalized session with the teacher, with the expert, right, everyone? Okay. Okay, well, the link is shared in the description box. Everyone, go ahead and book your free demo with LeapScholar. And while we are going to move ahead, right? Okay, so, let's go ahead and look at the few do's and don'ts before we write some introductions, right, for some of the answers. So what are the do's? What are the important things that you must remember as far as the introduction is concerned? Well, write a clear introduction to describe what you see. Paraphrase the question. Please do not copy the lines from the question. It's very important not to copy the lines from the question. Otherwise, your marks would be deducted, your score or your band is going to come down dramatically. In fact, those lines that you have copied from the question will not be counted as in your word count. So please do remember these do's. Okay, so paraphrase the question. It's very important. You can use some of the keywords from the question, okay, like the dates, the time, the country, the genders. You can use all those keywords. However, don't copy word by word the question, and introduce all charts, diagrams, or tables. Like I said, if you have more than one piece of information, Please do make sure that you address all of those in the introduction and don't miss out on any one of them. Now let's look at the don'ts. What you must not do. Do not present irrelevant information. Irrelevant, what do we mean by that? Well, some people have a tendency to write the x-axis represents this, the y-axis represents this. So don't go on to write like that. It's a very kiddish style of writing. And don't copy the question prompt word for word and paraphrase, like I said earlier. Okay, so that's something very important. And a few examples out here. Now, let's look at a few examples. Everybody, meanwhile, quickly tell me in the chat box, how many of you have gone ahead and booked the free demo with LeapScholar? So it's a wonderful opportunity for you to get a personalized session of 30 minutes from LeapScholar and be able to learn a few tips and tricks, right? And also, maybe you can learn about a few courses that we have at LeapScholar. And finally, yes, you can decide whether you like it or you don't like it, right? So go ahead and book your free demo. The link is going to be alive only till the time I'm taking the session. So go ahead, take the demos, book your demo session. There are just a limited slots there. So it's available on first come, first serve basis, right, everyone? Okay, a few examples out here. The table, let's say you have a table of information. Yeah. So table of information, then you could say the table illustrates. Okay, so you can use the words. Now quickly tell me in the chat box, what are the various words that you can use instead of illustrates? Yes, what are the various words that you can use instead of illustrates? You can use represents, depicts, shows, right? You can use lots of different words. Isn't that so, everyone? Okay, so the table illustrates employment numbers in Canada over a 30-year period from 1980 to 2010. So what is it that you notice, everyone here? What is it that I included in the introduction? I included the purpose, what was the information for, and I also included the timeline out here. Yes, indicates, very good. I have lots of words out here. Depicts, indicates, exhibits, enumerates, okay, demonstrates, shows, elucidates. Very good. Great, wonderful. Yeah, Zubair, that's very good. Aman, Megha, Manpreet. So it's so wonderful. You all are actively participating. And let me know, Manpreet, Megha, Aman, Zubair, Babu, have you all booked the demo session with LeapScholar? Also answer that in the chat box. Okay, what about bar chart? So if the bar chart is presented to you, then how do you write your introduction? You could say the bar chart or the chart compares the number of cars that were made in Holland, France, Germany, and Poland. Let's say the data is presented to you for a number of countries. So please do mention the name of the countries because that's part of the data source, right? And then you can mention over a decade from 2005 to 2015. So write the timeline as well. And the purpose of the information and the countries for which the data is provided to you. Right, everyone? Okay, let's move ahead and let's see if the map is there. So what about the map? If sometimes you tend to have maps, right? Not just one, maybe 2, 3 maps to compare. So if it is multiple maps, you could say the maps. In case it is singular, it is map. The maps illustrate changes in an Irish village over a century from 1915 to 2015. Okay. And if it is a graph, line graph, you could write the line graph presents data, or yes, we could write demonstrates data from Ireland showing cinema attendance in major cities in 2016. So these are various ways. Now you can very clearly see there's hardly 1 or 2 sentences that are written for the introduction because there's clearly no need to write more than that in your introduction. So don't go on to write stories in your introduction paragraph. It has to be very short. What about the overview, everyone? Yes, what about the overview, everyone? Okay, I'm still waiting for the answers from many of you, whether you have booked the demo. Yeah, right? I'm still waiting. Aman, Smita, Zubair, I'm waiting for you all to let me know. Okay. Okay, and what about the overview? Well, the overview. Now, the second paragraph that you have in your answer is the overview. Yes, it is the overview because here you're going to write your summarization. That means you're going to write your holistic judgment or observation of the information. So overview in your response should just summarize what you see in the visual diagram. And something that you must not include, can anybody tell me what we must not include in the overview? Yes, of course, you can use the words like overall. Yeah. So what should we not include in the overview? You must not include the data. You must not include numbers, figures in your overview because it is a holistic judgment of the information, right, everyone? Okay, so the overview should summarize what you see in the visual diagram. It should summarize the main trends, changes, development stages, or noticeable features, right? Okay, yes, of course, numbers, figures are not to be included. Yes, you're right, Manpreet. Exactly. And you need to present a clear overview to reach a band 7 and higher. If your overview is missing, everyone, please do remember, you cannot expect to get a high band in your task 1. So please do not forget to include your overview, right, everyone? So let's look at what are the few examples of writing an overview, how to write an overview, right? We need to talk about trends or changes, developments, stages, and noticeable changes, right? Okay, first a few do's and don'ts about the overview. Use linking words to summarize. Like, yes, some of you have already told me in the chat box that we can start by using overall. Yeah, overall, to summarize, it is apparent that clearly, so all of these words can be used in order to start your overview. So make it very clear to the reader that this is the overview, which is your second paragraph in your answer. Look for trends in the diagram and is there an overall increase? So what is it that you must write in your overview? If you notice some kind of an increase or a decrease or fluctuation in the visual diagram, or are there any high and low points? Is it stable? So these are the things that you need to ponder over and you need to project that in the overview, right, everyone? Are you clear about that? What about the next thing? So if the visual diagram shows the future predictions, then you must summarize the future trends as well in your overview. Sometimes the data is not just up till the present, it also goes beyond that to predict about the future. So please add another line to indicate the future predictions, right, everyone? So I'm sure that so far it is very clear to all of you, right? What about the don'ts? What are the things that you must not do when it comes to the overview? Well, don't include data or figures. That's very important. Don't identify everything in the overview, because if you write everything in the overview, what are you going to write in your body paragraphs? So it's just the noticeable features that you must be quoting in the overview. What about the next thing? So don't highlight key features with data. So figures must not be quoted. You should only write the noticeable trend that you want to highlight here, right, everyone? Okay, a few examples out there. And keep waiting in the session because I'm going to ask you to construct a body paragraph based on some data that I'm going to present to you. There are going to be quite a few exercises for you. So 2 exercises, in fact, one based on a pie chart and the other one on a table. And that will give you a good practice on how to write a body paragraph and how to include comparison and contrast, linking words, transition words and phrases. So all of that is going to be a great exercise for you. But first, we are looking at a few examples for the process diagram. Let us look at how to write the overview. So let's say, for example, somebody was asking me to include a life cycle or a process diagram. Well, at least you can have a look at an example of how to write the overview of a process diagram, right? Okay. The process shows how man-made, let's imagine that the figure is shown about how man-made fibers are produced. So there we can quickly put our overview as the process shows how man-made fibers are produced. It can clearly be seen that There are 7 steps involved in the production. Let's say if there are 7 steps or 8 steps, please count the number of steps, and that be a good observation that there are 7 steps involved in the production of cloth, starting with the raw materials and ending with the final product. So that's how you can write your overview. So it's a very, very quick way of writing your overview in just a few sentences, and that should be good. You don't need to write anything more than that, because the description of the process or the steps will clearly be written in the body paragraph. Okay, wonderful. Pavana, you're watching this video from Nepal. I'm so happy about that people far and wide are watching this video and learning from me. So that's really a very satisfying and gratifying experience. Okay. Let's look at, let's look at a bar chart. So let's look at what the bar chart represents. So how to write the overview for a bar chart. So let's look at that, everyone. So if a bar chart is presented to you, that means it's more or less quite similar to a line graph. There's nothing really different. It's just that the representation may be different. The way you deal with it is going to remain more or less the same as you deal with a line graph. So let's look at how to write the overview. The bar chart compares the numbers of cars that were made in Holland, Germany, France, and Poland over a decade from 2005 to 2015. Now, this is part of the introduction, right? So the next one is part of the overview. In brief, Germany was the major producer of vehicles over this period, followed by France and Poland. So can somebody tell me what is the overview here, whether it is the first sentence or the second sentence? What is the overview? Which one do you consider as the overview here? The first line? Yes, the first line is the introduction. And what is the overview here? This is part of the overview. So that was for you to identify that what is the overview here? Well, this is the overview. Right, everyone? So in brief, Germany was the major producer of vehicles over this period, followed by France and Poland. So that's a quick observation of the data, and that's how you write. Yes, exactly, Yad Sandhu. It's absolutely right. It's the last line, which is actually the overview. The first part was just the introduction or the first paragraph to be written in your answer. And this was part of the second paragraph, right? Okay. Okay, so now let's just move ahead and yeah. Okay, so we are so far, everyone, all of you have learned how to construct your opening paragraph. You have also learned how to construct your paragraph for your overview. So there are 2 paragraphs that we are already done with. The first paragraph is the introduction and the second paragraph is the overview. So these things which are already clear. Now we move on to something very important and a major part of your answer, which comprises of your body paragraphs. Right, everyone? So body paragraph is an important part of your answer, and these should be about 2 of them. Now, how many body paragraphs ideally would you make? 2 paragraphs, right? So 2 paragraphs. Don't cramp one body paragraph with everything, all the observations. Please make 2 body paragraphs for that. So in your writing task 1 response, you must present the key features and use data to support the description. Along with that, you must do comparison and contrast. The key features are the features that stand out most in the diagram. So these must be supported with the help of data as well. So it's very important that you don't just make a comparison and contrast, but you also sometimes must quote the data. However, every time quoting the data every time is not important. Sometimes you can make those general observations as well. Right, everyone? You can also make general observations like the maximum people, or the maximum number of people liked the movie, or the highest number, or the highest number was related to so and so. So you need not always keep quoting the numbers, but yes, don't delete the numbers altogether from your description and from your body paragraphs, right? Okay, present. Now, what must you not do? There are a few things that you must keep in mind that you must not do in your body paragraphs. Don't present the data mechanically. That means you should not just write. Some people have a habit of writing that in 1992 it was 2%, in 1993 it was 3%, 1994 it was 6%. So this kind of a mechanical description cannot fetch you a high point. So be very, very careful. Do not write in this manner. Don't present the data inaccurately. So be very careful when you're making your observations. So carefully notice what is written on the X and the Y axis and take up the data in your descriptions. Don't use calculations too many calculations to respond to the task. Like, for example, don't keep calculating the averages or add and subtract the numbers. Try to use the numbers or the data as presented to you. Don't misread the data and present it incorrectly. For example, saying females instead of males. So now that will take your score down, right, everyone? So don't make sure that you do not misquote the data. That can certainly bring down your score dramatically. So be very careful when you are quoting the data, and take the numbers carefully there from the data or the pictorial representation. Now, everyone, an activity coming up for you out here. Everyone, a quick activity for you all to construct the body paragraph. Now, everyone, you have the diagram on the screen. What is it? It's a pie chart, right, everyone? It's a pie chart, and it shows the music store sales, the Rob's music store sales, the sales at a music store called Rob's. So it is a pie chart here. Now, the pie chart represents a total of 100%. And out of that, now we have CDs, PC games, posters, and DVDs. So all of you, are you looking at the data? Have you made your quick observations? Yes? Okay, yes, Yad Sandhu. What about the others? Rabi, what about you? Yes, Aman. Okay, so have you made your quick observations here? Okay, because now I'm presenting a task to you and you have to construct a body paragraph, keeping in mind that you have to highlight the key trends, you have to illustrate them with data sometimes, and you also have to do a comparison and contrast. So these three things that you must remember. Okay, everyone, ready to do this activity? Yes, are we all ready? Okay, great, Danish. Yeah, okay. I have presented to you an activity in the form of fill in the blank. And while you're reading, read the sentences carefully and see how they have been constructed. And try to fill up the blanks with the data that's presented to you here. There is a test tip that is given at the bottom. Now that will help you to improve your sentence structures and your grammar. So percent comes after a number. Everyone, percent comes after a number, whereas percentage comes after words like this, that, etc. And it is often preceded by an adjective, a high percentage of. But both the words percent and percentage go with the preposition of. Right, everyone? So that's a quick tip on grammar so that you don't make a mistake in using percent and percentage. Okay, great. Quickly do this one. Everyone, a very, very quick 1 minute to do all this. Complete the answers. I'm waiting. I am giving you 1 minute to do this task. Look at the observe the pie chart and complete the task here. Okay. Make sure that the sentences are grammatically correct, because you know that grammar and accuracy is part of the assessment parameter. So you should make sure that your sentences are grammatically correct. Yes, Danish. High proportion. The high proportion. Well, Ranjit, yes, very good. 60% is what you have written. So I'm getting lots of answers. So let's just see. I'm giving everyone 1 minute to do it so that everybody does it on their own. Okay. Everybody is giving me a variety of answers. It shows how creative you all are. Okay. Okay, Pavana. I remember you are watching this video from Nepal. And yes, I'm liking the fact that you are active and trying to do this activity out here. Okay, Azan, Suruchi, everybody trying out there. Very good. Yes, a quick half a minute more for everyone to do this one. Do this activity. Okay, Jasleen has given me a variety of answers out here for all the questions. I'll comment on the answers only when when all of you are done. Okay, so so that some people are still doing it, let them do on their own and let them rack their brain and see what answers could be there. And make sure that your sentences are grammatically correct, because if your sentences are not correct grammatically, then it really cannot fetch you a high score. Okay, everyone, it seems that most of you are done. So we'll just move ahead and look at the answers. But prior to that, I want you all to quickly take a minute. I'm giving you a minute to quickly book your demo, free demo with LeapScholar. Now, what do you come across in the demo? Well, the demo will be a session with an expert teacher that you will get, the IELTS session with an expert teacher. And you will also you will learn a lot of tips and tricks from the expert, IELTS expert. And along with that, you would also come to know about the possible courses that you have, the live sessions that you have with LeapScholar. And what is there in the live sessions? Well, you have mock tests, evaluations, and much more than that. So book a free demo and get to learn some tips and tricks. So get to have a taste of our teaching through a free demo session, which is absolutely free. The link is shared in the description box. Please go ahead and book your demo. I'm giving you a quick 1 minute to book your seat because there are only limited slots available for the free demo. So it's on a first come, first serve basis. Go ahead and quickly book your demo, and I'll give you some time to do that on your own, and then we will move ahead and look at the answers. And I have another activity coming up based on a table of information. Tables also bother sometimes. Many a times people feel that they're bothered by a table because they don't know exactly how to decode that and how to do a comparison and contrast with that one. So I'm sure that activity is going to be very interesting. So waiting for you all to quickly book your demo and then come back, and we start with the remaining part of the lecture. So we all are here to learn, but then it's a wonderful opportunity to book this demo, a free demo. The links are shared in the description box. Please go ahead and book your free demo. Take an opportunity, a quick opportunity to book it free of cost. Right, everyone? I also, a very quick information, I also have 2 batches coming up for my for the the IELTS Elite and the IELTS Select batch. I will let you know a little later about that. So I will let you know about those 2 batches. So both of them are starting on the 2nd of December. So if anybody is interested, you can directly just go and book a seat in those batches. Otherwise, if you're apprehensive, just book a demo session, a free demo session, and that shall help you to understand how we at LeapScholar teach. Right, everyone? Okay. Okay, wonderful. Azan, you have already booked your demo, so that's great. And what about the others? Okay, so yes, the others also. Go ahead, book your free demo. And then we move on. Everybody. So do remember when you are doing your task 1 that how is the organization of the answer going to be? It has to be the introduction, the overview, and 2 body paragraphs. So that's how you're going to write your answer. Danish, very good. You have booked your slot or demo slot. So I'm glad you got a free demo slot. And what about the others? Have you been able to grab that free demo? Ranjit, just book the slot, whatever slot is available. Just click on the link and see whatever slots are available and book a slot as per your convenience. Yeah, Ranjit, click on the link and I'm sure that you will be able to see a number of options there. So, and you shall also be intimated. You will also get a link to join the demo, right? Abid is saying that he's in Nigeria and he cannot book a session, a free demo session. So yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but others, why don't you just quickly grab a free demo session? Very quickly, go ahead, grab a free demo session and let me know in the chat box how many of you have done that, right? So there are some people who are regretting because they are not able to do because of their location. However, others can do it. So why not? Abid, you will need an Indian number and that's it. So you just need an Indian number and you should be able to book a demo session. Okay. Everybody, very quickly, I'm just giving you the last 30 seconds to quickly book your demo. And we are going to move ahead. I'm sure everybody's eagerly waiting for the table related activity as well. So how to decode a table's body paragraph, how to write that one. Okay. Yeah, you're unable to book the demo. Why is it so? Because I said that you do have the time to book until the session is going on. So go ahead and book the demo very quickly. Look at the link, try once again. Maybe there's a network issue. Okay. Yeah, do let us know in the description box, in the chat box, what the issue is, and so that our team can help you out by helping you to book this session, the demo session. Yeah, we'll help you. Just mention your issue, right? Okay. So everyone, well, what about the body paragraph out here? So you all were given this task to complete the body paragraph. So, well, let's look at this now. According to the chart, so you all tried in a different manner. Everybody had their own ways of doing this. Okay, Yad says that when I click the link, I see dashboard on my screen. So, well, I think the technical team is going to help you out with that, Yad. So according to the chart, dash of the shop sales are DVDs. So you all tried in variety of ways, and I'm glad you had your own creativity to write the information. So it is, you could also write 60% of the shop sales. According to the chart, 60% of the shop sales are DVDs, right? CDs account for a much smaller dash of sales. What could it be? So I told you that there is a test tip that if it should if it is preceded by an adjective, what is the adjective out here? Smaller. Then the word percentage goes in here, not the number. So there were some people who were putting a number out here. So don't write a number, rather it has to be percentage, the word percentage. So much smaller percentage of sales. So well, okay, Ranjit, wonderful. Okay, great. And Piyush is saying overwhelming proportion according to the chart, and overwhelming proportion of the, then you have to write an, Piyush, okay, because the article also has to be there, okay. So an overwhelming proportion of the shop sales are DVDs. CDs account for a much smaller percentage, right? And what about the next one? So here it has to be this, right? While PC games account for PC games, how much is the percentage? Well, it's 20%, right? For 20% of the shops. So you can write 20%, right? So here we'll probably write 60% or an overwhelming proportion, okay? Any of these. Of the store's sale, the dash of CD sold is only 15. Now, what do we write here? Percentage. Okay, everyone. The percentage of CDs sold is only 15. Posters represent the lowest percentage of goods sold, right? So that's how you can complete this. Everybody, was that an interesting activity? So did you notice that we did a lot of comparison and contrast? So did you also notice that we also used uh, superlatives and comparatives out here? So highest, smaller. So smaller was a comparative degree. When we use the highest or the lowest, that becomes, so lowest becomes a superlative degree, right? Whereas lower or smaller becomes a comparative degree. So lots of comparatives used over here to do a comparison and contrast. Along with that, we also use the data to further support the trends that we noticed, right, everyone? So great, a wonderful activity, everyone. And I really love the fact that everybody was giving their own answers and doing it in their own manner. So let's very quickly look at the table out here. Ready to do another table? Well, use any of the following words to fill up the blanks to complete the body paragraph. You can use while, whereas, although, however. So make sure that you use a variety of words, linking words, transition words and phrases, and comparatives or words to establish a similarity. So all of these from here, and keep observing the data. The table is provided to you for 3 hotels, Kendall, Primda and Cord, and the room's star rating and distance from the city center and value for money is provided to you. So here comes the question for you all. Yes, everyone. Very quickly, compared to the Kendall Hotel, the Primda is. Can you all see this? Well, everyone, have a quick look at the observe the table of information and see that which 2 hotels have the same number of rooms, which one has the least number of rooms, which one has the highest star rating, which one has the lowest star rating. So all of that, while making observations, also you must think of various comparative words. Okay, so very quickly, compared to the Kendall Hotel, the Primda is dash value for money. Very quickly, I want the answers rolling in the chat box. I want to see how quick you can be in order to construct a paragraph for the description of this table. Yes, everyone. Compared to the Kendall Hotel, the Primda is dash value for money. What is it? Yes, not twice. Is twice value for money? No, that doesn't fit in grammatically. You have to make sure that your answer is also grammatically correct. Look at the words out here. There are some comparatives also. Good, better, best was here. So what do you think will be the best one here in this case? Compared to the Kendall, the Primda is. Yes, no, not even best. When we compare, a very quick tip to everyone, when we compare 2 things, we only use the comparative degree. We don't use the superlative. When we compare more than 2 things, then we use superlative. So very quickly, it is better. Okay, it is better value for money. Okay, what about the next one? Both the Primda and the Cord Hotel are dash good value for money. Look at the Primda and Cord. They have two tick marks here. So that means, are they equal? Yes. So what do we use? They're equally good value for money. Isn't that so? We need to make sure that the sentences are grammatically correct. So equally good value for money. While the Cord has dash star rating, look at Cord. Cord, does it have the highest star rating? Yes or a no? Okay. Yes. So similar good value, that's okay, Piyush. But equally good, equally would be a far better word. A similar good value for money. Rather than that, it makes much sense to say equally good value for money. While the Cord has the highest. Whenever we use the superlative, we have to make sure that we are using the along with it. The highest star rating, it is the furthest from the, is it not the farthest from the city center? Yes, it is 5 kilometers. It is the furthest from the city center, right, everyone? Okay. Now, what about the next one? Dash the Cord Hotel. Kendall is close to the city center. So they're comparing Kendall and Cord. So which word should come in here? Look at the words, that are provided to you here. Unlike. So what do you think? We can use a nice word to actually talk about the comparatives. Okay, unlike, so we are comparing. Unlike the Cord Hotel, Kendall is close to the city center. However, it has a, so what is it? It has a, Kendall is close to the city center. However, it has a lower star rating. Isn't that so? It has a lower star rating. Yes, everyone. Okay, so unlike the Cord Hotel, the Kendall is close to the city center. However, it has a lower star rating, right? Because it has 2 stars, right? So we will say lower because it's comparing Kendall and Cord. So when two things are compared, we use a comparative degree. Okay, the next one is, although the Kendall Hotel and the Premda have dash number of rooms, Kendall and Premda, how many? So they both have 22, 25. So what does it have? The same number of rooms. Their star ratings are, what are they? Their star ratings are, one of them has 2, the other one has 4 stars. So what are they? They have the same. What is the opposite of same? Different, right? So the same number of rooms, their star ratings are different. Okay. Yes, very good. And what about the next one? The Cord looks like the Dash Hotel. So apparently, what does Cord look like? It has 5 stars. So what would you call it compared to the other 2? Yes, very good. I'm getting some wonderful answers in the chat box, and everybody is quickly racking their brains and getting some answers out there to fill up the blanks, to make the sentences in a grammatically correct manner, and to write a beautiful body paragraph related to a table. So, well, the Cord looks like what? Quickly come up with the right word here. Very quickly. Okay, so the Cord looks like the best hotel. Yeah. And even though it has dash rooms than the others, so compared to the others, what does it have? It has fewer, right? We use the word fewer. For countable nouns, we use fewer. Now, some people may wonder, why don't we say lesser and all that? Say fewer, okay? Yes, fewer rooms than the others. Okay, great. Wonderful activity out there. And I'm so glad that you all ended up learning a lot out here. So great. And I'm just, please look at the description box, and the link was shared for you all. So I'm sure that you all have gone ahead and taken the opportunity to book a free demo session. So go ahead and book a free demo session and get it with LeapScholar. So, well, like I said, I have a select batch that's coming up on the 2nd of December. So, well, if you want the opportunity to learn with me, join my batch directly. However, if you're interested in taking a demo session first, go ahead and book your free demo session. So that will help you to understand the various features of the course. And along with that, you will also be able to decide on your own through your experience, your personal experience, not just hearsay, your personal experience. You'll be able to decide whether to take up the course or not to take up the course, right? So that's something that you will be able to decide on your experience. And to get that experience, you have to book a demo session. However, if you feel that you had a wonderful learning today and you're ready to join the course, go ahead and quickly book your seat in the batch that's starting on the 2nd of December, which is an IELTS Select course. And you will get 25 full-length speaking tests, 28 writing tests, full-length tests. You'll get your study material. There'll be a small batch size. You'll have everyday sessions from Monday to Friday for 4 weeks with me. And you will also have computer-based tests and score tracking system with extra doubt sessions along with it. And all this for 7,995. There's another batch that's coming up, which is elite batch, which is just a handful students of 10 in the class. And if you think that you want to get personalized attention with very few people in the class, just about 10 people, then go ahead and join the elite batch. So that's also starting on the 2nd of December at 7:30. However, the select batch is at 9 o'clock at night. Elite batch is 7:30 p.m. in the evening. Both timings being very suitable for all working professionals as well as students. So go ahead and quickly book your demo session if you want to have a free demo with me and see how we teach at LeapScholar. But if you feel that you want to join the courses, book the seat directly and be in my class on Friday, right? Otherwise, take a free demo session. That's the facility that you have today. And you will be able to get a personal demo session with me, right, everyone? Okay, so very well. That was a wonderful session, and a few tips towards the end for all of you to remember that you have to write a clear introduction, a clear summary in the form of an overview, and 2 body paragraphs where you present and highlight the key features and illustrate with data. And remember that academic task 1 does not have a conclusion, so no need to write a conclusion. So a big thank you to all of you for being a part of the session and actively participating. And I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it. You had a great learning today. And I am hoping to see some of you taking a demo session with me. And I'm sure that you all have booked your session. Many of you have already booked it. Sunil, go ahead and book your session. And others also, please book your session with LeapScholar and get to see how we teach at LeapScholar, right, everyone? On that note, I will end the session and have a great day. Have a great evening, everyone. Happy learning to all of you and wish you all the best in your future endeavors. So, well, that brings us to the end of the session. And a very, very big thank you to all of you for being a part of this. Thank you, everyone. Yes, I can see a lot of people who booked it and booked the demo session. And I really hope that all of you have taken this golden opportunity. Look for the links in the description box.